Struggling to pick colors that really work together in your painting? You're not alone. With so many colors available, choosing the right combination can feel overwhelming. The good news is there's a simple way to make this much easier. Welcome to my studio, I'm Tineke. In this video, I'll show you how color schemes can make combining colors much easier. They help you choose color combinations that definitely work well together so you can create a clear color plan before you begin painting. And when you start a painting with a clear color plan, everything becomes easier. You hesitate less, you correct less, and instead of reacting to your painting as you go, you know where you're heading. This video is the introduction to a YouTube series all about color combinations. Over the next 50 weeks, I'll share one video per week here on my YouTube channel. In each video, I'll work with one dominant color and one color scheme, and I'll paint an artwork using that palette. The goal of this series is to help you learn to recognize and remember color schemes so combining colors becomes more intuitive and much less complicated. Not to replace the colors you already love, but to gently expand your options and show how many possibilities there really are. Before we look at specific color schemes, let's start with the foundation, the color wheel. Because without the color wheel, color schemes wouldn't exist. A color scheme is a way of selecting colors based on their position on the color wheel. The order of the colors on that wheel shows which colors are closely related and which ones create contrast. Colors that sit next to each other on the color wheel are related to one another. I like to think of them as family members. They share similar qualities and that's why they naturally look good together. Colors that sit farther apart create contrast, and that contrast is what brings energy, tension and excitement into a painting. Many of the color schemes we still use today are based on the color theory of Johannes Itten, a Swiss painter and art teacher who studied color relationships in depth. Even though these schemes were developed a long time ago, they are still widely used by artists, designers, interior designers, fashion brands, and in visual communication all around us. Once you start to recognize these patterns, you'll begin to see color schemes everywhere. A quick note about the color compass I use in my course. It includes two color wheels, a classic color wheel and a modern perceptual color wheel. There's also a blank color wheel that you can fill in with your own mixed paint colors because paint behaves very differently from printed color. In this video, I'll use the classical color wheel because it's familiar to most painters and makes it easier to understand the foundations first. Now let's look at the most important color schemes. These are the schemes you'll encounter most often, and once you understand these, everything else starts to make sense. Some color schemes are based on similarity, others are based on contrast. That distinction alone already brings a lot of clarity. Let's start with the schemes based on similarity. The first one is monochromatic. This means working with one single color but using many variations of it. Lighter or darker versions, stronger or softer tones. Because everything comes from the same color family, these palettes feel calm, focused and very cohesive. You might also hear the term ton sur ton. That's simply a French way of describing the same monochromatic idea. The second scheme based on similarity is analogous. Here you work with 3 or 4 colors that sit next to each other on the color wheel. Because these colors are closely related, the transitions feel soft and natural. This type of harmony is something we see all the time in nature. Just look around you. These colors never clash, they flow. Now let's move to the schemes based on contrast. Contrast comes from difference, and difference is what makes colors exciting. The most well-known contrast scheme is complementary. This uses two colors that sit opposite each other on the color wheel. Because they are so far apart, they create a strong visual tension. This can feel bold, expressive, and very dynamic. A softer version of this is split complementary. Instead of using the exact opposite color, you choose the two colors next to it. You still get contrast, but it's easier to balance and feels less extreme. Then there is the triadic color scheme. This uses three colors that are evenly spaced around the color wheel. It creates balance and movement at the same time, giving you variety without losing structure. There's also a scheme that sits somewhere between harmony and contrast, analogous plus complementary. You start with a calm group of analogous colors and add one contrasting accent. This keeps the palette cohesive while still guiding the viewer's eye. Now, once you start looking into color schemes, you'll quickly discover that there are many more variations: double analogous, double complementary, split versions, tetradic schemes, even star or hexadic shapes. I don't show these to make things more complicated. In fact, seeing all these variations led me to an important conclusion. After studying many color systems over the years and collecting countless color combinations, I realized something surprising yet very reassuring. Almost any color can be combined with any other color. The key is not the hue alone. What really makes a color combination work is the relationship in value and intensity. Value is the lightness or darkness of a color. Differences in value create clarity, depth, and structure in a painting. Intensity describes how strong or muted a color appears. Highly intense colors feel energetic and vivid, and lower intensity colors feel calmer and more subdued. By adjusting value, intensity, and how much of each color you use, you can completely change the mood of a painting, even when working with the same color scheme. For example, take the famous painting Children of the Sea by Joseph Israels. Israels used muted colors to create a serene, subdued atmosphere. But what if the colors were more intense? By increasing the intensity, the painting immediately feels more lively and busy. If the colors are made even more saturated, the original calm, quiet feeling is lost. This shows that color intensity not only sets the moods of your painting, but also its overall impact and presence. So why work with color schemes at all? Because they help you get started. Of course, there are many ways to find color combinations: books, websites, apps, Pinterest, photographs, magazines, and especially the world around us. Just look at nature. You never think these colors don't work together. Color schemes help you recognize patterns. One important thing to remember is this: color schemes are not fixed rules, they're tools. A way to begin, not something you have to follow exactly. And finally, something that matters more than any system: personal taste. What you like is what leads the way. Not the theory, not the scheme. Two artists can use the very same color scheme and still create completely different paintings. Not because one followed the rules better, but because each artist brings their own preferences and choices into the work. Color schemes give you direction, but how you use them becomes part of your own style. That's not breaking the rules, that's developing your own voice. That's also why I created my online course, Perfect Color Mixing and Matching. In this course, I go much deeper than I can in these YouTube videos. Part 1 of the course is all about color mixing. You'll learn how to mix any color you want using just a few tubes of paint, and how to mix that same color again and again. So instead of guessing, you'll really start to understand what happens when colors interact. Part 2 of the course focuses on using color effectively in your paintings. We explore color combinations, color contrasts, and color distribution, and how these choices influence the mood and balance of your work. The course is supported by a physical tool I designed especially for this purpose, the Color Compass. When you enroll, you get immediately access to the online course, and you'll also receive a complete course package delivered to your home. That package includes the Color Compass, a checklist for the color mixing exercises, and a set of 50 color combination cards, all based on the color schemes we use. These cards are illustrated mostly with nature photos, so you can easily recognize and remember how colors work together in real life. Each week, a new video is added to the course. In those videos, I demonstrate exactly how I mix the colors from the cards step by step. That way we practice together and you slowly build confidence and understanding through repetition. This YouTube series focuses mainly on inspiration and demonstration. The course is where we slow things down and really work through the process together. The course is available in both English and Dutch. For more information and to sign up, you'll find the link in the video description. Over the next 50 weeks, I'll publish one video per week in this series. Each video focuses on one color scheme and one dominant color, combined with a painting demonstration to inspire you and help you see how color really works. If you enjoyed this introduction, feel free to like and subscribe so you won't miss any of the upcoming videos. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video where we'll start exploring our first color combination together.